Hi, my name is Dimitri,
And I'm David.
and we're going to be talking about deep ecology and feminism. So first, I just want to ask you a question. So feminism basically focuses on how in the past they believed that females were more emotional. Do you agree with that? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I disagree with the idea that feminism is based on women being more emotional, since I believe that men and women should be equal no matter, even though it's true that women are more emotional, the idea of feminism rose for getting equal rights and getting the same privileges that they believe that men were given that women don't. So even though they are more emotional, I support the movement of feminism, and women should get the rights and should get like the equal treatment that men get in all aspects of life. And what do you think about it?
I want to talk about. I think they're correct with they're more emotional, but because women go through much more events, let's say, with their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They have much different situations where they get hormonal or something like that, or monthly cramps. I can imagine they would be more stressed and therefore show more emotion.
Yeah.
So I can see where they got the idea that hey, yeah, we shouldn't. The whole point is they're saying we shouldn't let them do all this because they're more emotional. They're not so rational, reasonable like us, logical. So I can definitely say where they got the idea, and if I was in that time, probably agree with them. But now that we know this, I also believe men can be as equally as emotional. I don't really think one is more emotional than the other. I just think one has more scenarios where they can show emotion. So really, in present day, it's been with the actual feminism movement, which is different from this one. We can see how people have believed now that they are also smart. Newsflash, women are not dumb. They can reason too. So we are really seeing all this with all the protests and here in Monterrey, la marcha, 7 and 9. All of that is really just showing how much that belief that women can be reasoned with because of their emotions is now changing.
Yeah, and about what you said, we can see that this movement is basically move up, in between what is seen on the public sector. Since I researched and I found an article that can really debate this about saying on which was actually the real reason because of how women were treated on the public sector and then on the private sector. And this article is arguing that is the way. So the article by Alison Jagger, which is called Feminist Ethics, Problems, Projects, Prospects, in Card, she noted, in this article, she noted how areas were associated with women on how retentiously the family and the private sphere, etc., have been passed over in ethics. So how the really interesting moral questions have been considered to be those that arise in the public and political spheres. So saying that really this is only, not only, but this is seen mostly on the public sector and in the outside world, but not in their houses.
Mm. And what made it go outside of that public sector, in the article from Donald Palmer, my notes are in this computer, that's why I'm reading it, sorry. Does the center hold an introduction to Western philosophy? They actually talk about, they say, yeah, women are more emotional, and they might argue with more emotions. But is that wrong? It's not I think we should all also be more emotional when thinking about scenarios because, the stereotype for men now is yeah, we're manly, we don't have to feel anything, we just think and do. And it's not wrong or right, but it partly has wrongs and rights inside of it. So
yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
And when you talk about deep ecology?
Yeah, well, now talking about deep ecology, what do you think about the idea that we should take care first of the earth rather than the humans?
I would honestly agree with that. I read the part of deep ecology and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. If we don't care about where we live, we're all gonna die either way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can care about humans and evolution, but if we should also kind of worship the earth because we can't do nothing against the earth.
This is where we live in.
If it wants to kill us, it can just make a tsunami and kill us. So we should really just start treating it better because
Mm-hmm.
we only got one world.
This is the only thing we got.
And although, yeah, no human life should be expendable, sometimes it's better to just let a little bit of them die for like the whole of whole humanity to live if it's to take care of the world. Like, right now we're seeing what happens when we focus all in human human pleasure because we screwed it up. Now we can't really fix it that much. We have climate change, the heat increasing. We're at a point we can't really bring it back even if for the next 100 years or so. We did negative emissions every year. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna add to you. Like right now we are not taking care of the earth a single bit. We have global warming, we have the sea levels rising, we have carbon emissions going out in an excessive amount. So right now we're trying to deal with these problems, but not actually giving a clear solution to what can be done, and we are still adding on to the problem while seeing the solution. So this is why I do believe in deep ecology, and I think that really we should take care of the earth and see the earth before us, since this is the place we live in, and without it, we will not live. So that's why, and there are actually theories that the world is gonna end in I don't know how many years, but in the near future, thanks to global warming. And if we keep things going like this, well, things are not gonna be good. So that's why I do believe in that deep ecology is really important in today's world, since without the earth and without nature, which are the resources where we get everything from and we trade things from, then we will not go, humankind will not go anywhere. And also I found in an article from Stanford, research that said, many traditional Western ethical perspectives, however, are anthropocentric or human-centered in either they assign intrinsic value to human beings alone, what we might call anthropocentric in a strong sense, or they assign a significantly greater amount of instinct value to human beings than to any non-human things, such that the protection or promotion of human interests or well-being at the expense of non-human things turns out to be nearly always justified.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for example, Aristotle, who was a famous Greek philosopher, he said apparently maintains that nature has made all things specifically for the sake of man. So with these ideals and with this mentality, we see that humans don't take care of the world and about the nature and the earth. So this mentality, I believe, that needs to change, and it will be for the better.
And I think just to conclude, these both topics, they're not wrong in their beliefs. They should be honestly applied to how we live right now. But I would say what's preventing it is that we don't want to sacrifice any type of, I would say, evolution that led us to have so much commodities. We have light, electricity. We don't want to sacrifice anything that we're already used to. So we don't really accept the change. With feminism, I would say, in feminism, I'm okay with that. I don't see any sacrifice to let a woman just be more a part of society. But many other men have a lot of pride. They don't want to. Sorry, the computer turned off. I'm not panicked. They don't want to let go of how the social norms they're used to from the past.
Yeah, so they want to feel better. They want to feel normal, because it's not fair that they actually get treated not the same as men.
Mm-hmm. So I would just say what is stopping both these ethical standpoints to be more prevalent in the present world is just we're all kind of scared of change in a way, such a drastic change. But it's necessary, honestly. It should be applied.
I agree with you. Even though we fear change, it does need to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Bivin.
Thanks. Love you.